Is it easier to buy a Rolex right now, new from the authorized dealer? I would say the short answer is yes, but there will be some caveats to that statement that I'll go through here. But it even is being borne out on the secondary market. We are seeing fewer people in the buying pool. And so, sellers, gray market sellers or individual sellers on the secondary market, they're starting to lower their prices on specific models. There was a time last year where my Hulk had crossed the $30,000 threshold, and now it's closer to 20, 25, depending on age, condition, completeness, and all of that. So we're seeing, even on the secondary market, some of those prices coming back to closer to reality because, again, there are fewer people in the buying pool. And how do I know that? Well, I know that I've talked to many of you. I'm pretty connected when it comes to the watch scene. And a lot of you that do regularly buy luxury priced watches, you're telling me things like, you know what? I'm just not comfortable spending this type of money at the moment because of inflation and because of a possible recession or depression. I know some of you think we are already in the beginning stages of a recession, and there is definite, between the stock market and the housing market, there is some uncertainty when it comes to the economy. And so you're saying right now is not the time for me to be buying a two-tone bluesy sub or an Air King or whatever the watch may be. So again, there are some collectors that normally would be lining up to buy these watches, and they're pulling back. And they're saying, not right now. I'm in a holding pattern. I will readjust as I get more information. And so, shrinking the buyer pool a little bit will help those of us that are comfortable spending money at the moment to get some of these models. So the answer is yes, but here's another caveat. It's not every model that has better availability. If you want a Panda Daytona or a Sky Dweller or a Pepsi GMT Master 2, these really hard to come by models, they're still hard to come by. Now, I'd like to say something else. If you are very wealthy, and it's a touchy subject talking about wealth and luxury watches and whatnot, because technically, if you can afford any Rolex, whether it's an OP or a Datejust or a Sky Dweller full precious metal, you're doing really well. You are technically, by the world standards, considered a wealthy individual. But I'm talking about the very wealthy. The very wealthy, it doesn't matter if we are in a recession, if we are in a depression, if we are riding a high, economically speaking, they have no problem. They have so much discretionary income that they don't mind going out and buying Kermits and a couple Daytonas. They're going to get the Everose, this or that. They're going to go buy Patek Philippe. They're going to go buy Audemars Piguet and Vacheron Constantin and other, they're going to spend a lot of money even when other people are pulling back because they're on a different plane of wealth than somebody else, if that makes sense. And so hopefully I navigated that in a more polite way. I'm not trying to put anybody down or raise anybody up. So there will always be a demand for Daytonas and Sky Dwellers, GMT Master 2s, but there's going to be less demand on some of the other Rolex models that in years past have been very difficult to come by. So if you have a mind to buy a No Date sub or a Wimbledon Datejust 41 or an Air King or a Polar Explorer, whatever the case may be, you're going to have a slightly easier time at the moment in getting one of these watches than you otherwise would, even compared to last year or 2 years ago. Now, I have a friend, and this is kind of funny. I have a friend here locally that just bought the VTNR, which is the Sprite GMT Master 2, the left-hand drive Riddler, some people are calling it. And he doesn't have the most extensive purchase history, but he is known, very well known to the authorized dealer. He does have a purchase history. He is a very nice guy. He's not a flipper. So he recently came home with a VTNR. And I want to shout him out. And what's funny is all of the Utah guys, we kind of all know each other. And some of us, we text each other or we message each other. So we pretty much know when a hot model is sold, and we know who it goes to, as silly as that may be, because again, Utah's a pretty small market. And again, we all kind of know each other. And so part of us or some of us are just genuinely happy. Like, hey, dude, awesome. Like, that's a great pickup. It looks awesome on you. I'm happy for you. But inwardly, we're a little bit jealous. Like, ooh, man, so and so got that watch. I have a bigger purchase history. I should be getting that watch. There's always that judgment and gamesmanship that happens amongst watch friends and maybe adversaries, collectors here locally. So I think it's kind of funny, but it also kind of goes to the point that even if you don't have a crazy purchase history, depending on your market, you have a legitimate shot at some of these harder to get models or recent release models that maybe last year or the year before, you certainly weren't being considered for those specific models because the buyer pool was a lot bigger, because inflation was different, the economy was doing a lot differently than it is now. So yes, the short answer is you do have a better shot at getting a Rolex at the moment, but at the same time, there is caveats, and I wouldn't get too picky. If you get a call from your AD and you have a pitiful purchase history of maybe a Tudor 1926 or something, don't expect to be offered a black Daytona in stainless steel, but maybe look forward to a call this fall, whereas in years past, you might not have gotten the offer for a Rolex. So the market is certainly changing. And again, I'm filming this in October of 2022, right at the beginning of the month. You could be watching this months into the future. And in that case, all of this information may be completely irrelevant. But I'm looking forward to reading your thoughts, your comments, your experiences, what you're hearing in your region in the comment section. And thank you for watching today. Again, shout out to my friend who just got the Sprite. It is an exciting thing. I'm not one of those guys that's like secretly jealous. No, I'm actually happy for you, my friend. Other than that, let's do a quick giveaway. I want to announce a giveaway winner here on my channel. I do a monthly giveaway for my Patreon members. And I'll drop in footage that I took from my computer, a screen capture of wheelofnames.com, where I have all 83 of my Patreons for the month of September. Let's go ahead and do the spin and see who wins the Siga Design Blue Planet that I am giving away. So congrats, Stan. Stan is a friend of mine in Pennsylvania. He has lent in some amazing watches over the past couple years, and I've enjoyed getting to know him in the limited basis that we have interacted with each other online and then met up in person in Pennsylvania. And I look forward to seeing you again, Stan. Maybe I can hand deliver your Siga Design Blue Planet that you have won. So again, thank you guys. I'll look forward to reading your comments in the comment section. Have a great day. I'll see you next time.